He turned down every major label deal. His music still went viral. The industry called it career suicide. Al James called it staying true. 3.9 million followers, 431 million streams on YouTube, 380 million on Spotify, all of it independent. In an era where Filipino artists chase brand deals and sign their futures away for a shot at radio play, one rapper from San Juan built an empire by saying no. But this isn't a story about rebellion for rebellion's sake. This is about what happens when you refuse to separate your art from your values, when you treat hip-hop not as philosophy.
Pahinga ka muna. Pahinga ka muna.
Most people know Al James for the smooth, romantic tracks that soundtrack late-night Manila, songs like Pahinga, Ngayong Gabi, purple-lit visuals dripping with atmosphere. What they don't know is that before he ever touched a microphone, he was painting walls. Before he became one of the most streamed independent artists in OPM, he was a graffiti kid studying fine arts at University of Santo Tomas, vandalizing doors with childhood friends who would later become Barrio Verde. His entry into music wasn't calculated. It started as a hobby during college, a time when the flip-top battle rap scene was exploding across the Philippines. Al James never stepped into the ring himself, but he studied the craft, wordplay, metaphors, the architecture of storytelling.
Well, nag-start talaga siya as parang trip-trip lang, hobby, nung way back in college. Naalala ko, mainit nung time na yun is flip-top.
For him, rap wasn't about technical showmanship. It required something deeper.
Parang kailangan mo lang maging pilosopo talaga mag-rapper. Ngayon, parang bukod sa rhyming kasi parang maglalaro ka talaga sa you play with words talaga, metaphors, and syempre storytelling, experiences, kumbaga.
That approach wasn't theoretical. It was tested immediately. By day, he worked as a graphic designer for an advertising agency. By night, he created cover art for friends' releases, keeping a strict boundary between corporate work and his music hustle. This wasn't desperation, it was deliberate. He was building something on his own terms, even if no one was watching yet. Then came 2016. He uploaded a track called Pahinga to SoundCloud with minimal expectations. No marketing budget, no label push, just a song. It gained traction slowly among artist friends, then exploded organically through YouTube meme culture. People ripped the audio, adding it to different videos. Everything was happening at the same time, and it just snowballed. By 2018, McDonald's Philippines tapped him for a summer campaign remix, Palamig Kamuna, featuring mainstream celebrities. It wasn't just commercial success, it was cultural validation. Media critics noted that McDonald's move to tap a relatively underground hip-hop artist was a cosign for local hip-hop culture. Doors were opening, labels were calling. Al James walked away from all of them. Some labels were reaching out, but the deals were pretty unfair. The music grew on its own, so he didn't need them. But independence came with a cost, especially when the world shut down.
Nawala yung creativity ng pandemic, medyo namatay siya, medyo naging dark yung energy around.
It wasn't just artistic drought. His entire family contracted COVID-19 before vaccines were available. His mother required hospitalization during the overwhelmed healthcare crisis. He took a year-long break from social media and music to focus on survival. Fans noticed. Other rappers, including Filipino artist Psy, created memes with conspiracy theories, claiming he was government-created or a ghost. The internet needed an explanation for the silence, but Al James was fighting a different battle entirely. The turning point came in the most mundane, yet uniquely pandemic setting. A long line for a vaccine. 4 hours of waiting, nothing to do but stand there, surrounded by exhausted Filipinos hoping for protection. So he pulled out his phone and started writing.
Nasulat ko siya habang nakapila sa vaccine. Sobrang tagal kasi ng mga 4 hours yung pila nun di ba? So to kill time, parang tinry ko na rin, nung pandemic kasi hirap din ako magsulat.
Out of that tedium came Atin Atin Lang, his first light, fun, daytime song after years of nighttime themes. The daylight energy helped him recover his inspiration for making music. But recovery brought new pressures. With millions of streams, complacency became a real threat.
Hindi ko siya gusto, parang malungkot pag complacent ka eh.
oo.
Yung nawawala yung apoy mo eh.
Success without hunger felt empty. His solution? Collaboration, not as a marketing strategy, but as philosophy.
Never-ending learning process siya. Parang pasahan siya ng energy rin. To inspire him, tapos ako rin inspire niya.
Inspire each other, feed off each other.
It's not about clout chasing or stacking features. It's about feeding off each other's creative hunger. That openness caught the attention of artists across genres.
And then I immediately thought of course, Al James, who was really a musical genius.
The respect wasn't one-directional. Al James sees the entire OPM landscape transforming.
Yeah.
OPM, very sobrang makulay niya ngayon. Kasi nga, bukod sa isang genre, may mga sub-genres pa siya.
The diversity isn't theoretical, it's measurable. Filipino hip-hop is no longer underground by necessity. It's underground by choice, thriving in its own ecosystem, while occasionally crossing into the mainstream on its own terms. And Al James believes Filipino music can succeed globally. But there's a condition. Support has to start locally first. He's confident that local support will soon translate into significant global recognition for Filipino artists. The strategy isn't to chase international validation. It's to build something undeniable at home, something so authentic that the world has no choice but to pay attention. This philosophy extends beyond music. Barrio Verde isn't just a rap collective. It's a multimedia movement spanning music, fashion, visual design, and food. The brand's tagline, Libog sa kultura ang tema, obsessed with culture, isn't marketing speak, it's a manifesto. Their philosophy is explicit. Focus on yourselves, not fame. Build your own movement and community. Al James occupies a unique space in Filipino culture. He's simultaneously relatable to mainstream audiences, smooth, romantic, atmospheric, while maintaining respect within hip-hop communities for his authentic voice and independent status. His production signature, built largely with collaborator Jim P, became instantly recognizable. Lo-fi trap aesthetic with murky atmospheric beats, vinyl crackle, spacious arrangements with minimal instrumentation, melancholic undertones even in uptempo tracks. Critics coined a phrase to capture his essence: syrupy flow and purple imagery, a deep, raspy, sensual delivery moving through dreamlike, intimate atmospheres within urban settings. 6 years after its release, over 420,000 TikTok videos use Ngayong Gabi snippets, from lip syncs to K-pop idol AI covers to Jessica Soho parody renditions. That kind of longevity signals more than virality. It indicates canonical status within Filipino youth culture, proving his work transcends single moments and becomes part of the shared language. But despite the massive success, the streams, the brand partnerships, the cultural influence, Al James's ambition remains surprisingly modest.
Gusto ko lang siyang ituloy ng ituloy and to learn more. Parang feeling ko hindi ko pa nalalaman lahat when it comes to sa music.
That's good. We continue to learn.
5 years from now? 10 years? The goal isn't to peak and disappear. The goal is sustainability. Building a life around creativity without burning out or selling out. That's the paradox at the heart of Al James's story. In an industry built on exploitation, he found freedom through refusal. In a culture obsessed with breaking into the mainstream, he redefined what mainstream could mean. And in a moment when Filipino hip-hop needed a bridge between underground credibility and mass appeal, he became that bridge, not by compromising, but by staying exactly who he was. The lesson isn't that everyone should turn down label deals or stay independent forever. The lesson is simpler and harder. Know what you're building. Know what you're willing to trade. Know the difference between opportunity and exploitation. Al James knew. And because he knew, he built something rare. A career that doesn't require him to apologize for existing. Music that doesn't require him to explain himself. And a legacy that proves Filipino artists can own their futures without asking permission. The fire hasn't gone out. And as long as the fire burns, the music continues.